Erasmus from California, saying God communicates with people through dreams and visions. Hello, Erasmus.
Hello. How's it going?
Hi. Good. Tell us what you got.
Okay, so earlier in the show, I do remember how one individual was speaking about dreams and a dream that they had, or dreams and visions. Now, when it comes down to God, God has stated that, well, God, there are, I'd say, dreams or dreams with God and other, entities, whatnot. And so, while a person might try to take a naturalist view on dreams, saying that the dreams are necessarily a byproduct of one's mind, chemicals and electrical signals creating said phenomena in dreams. It is very possible that dreams can also be from, God and other entities and whatnot.
Yeah, that's theoretically possible. What reason do you have for believing that it is true or even probable?
Yes.
I would say the reason I'd say it's possible or probable is because many times some dreams are very much, what we playbacks of events that have happened that we've seen and saw and whatnot. At the same time, many individuals, for instance, in Muslim nations, have reported seeing, visions of Jesus, which causes them to, convert. And so, I mean, if it were simply one person, we could chalk it up to, for instance, a hallucination, or potentially,
they mostly dream of Muslims. If they have religious dreams, the vast majority of it is of their own imams, or Prophet Muhammad, or Imam Mehdi, or Imam Ali, or like Angel Gabriel, which is Gabriel in English. It's very rare for them to have dreams of Jesus, but also understand that Jesus is a prophet in Islam as well. And often when Muslims have dreams of Jesus is after exposure to Christians and when they are being invited to Christianity. But most of the time they have Islam related dreams. And people with the Hindu background usually have, most of the time, if they have religious dreams, they have Hindu related dreams. And so with every other religion.
Certainly. And
I mean, I was a Muslim once. I had dreams of Shia imams. I remember specifically having dreams of Shia imams as a Muslim. I didn't have dreams of Jesus.
Well, certainly. At the same time, when a person has a dream of Jesus, some of these times, those dreams, those dreams don't comport to their own religion. Say, for instance, Islam. In Islam, Jesus, well, they have another Jesus, if you will. They have Isa, who is a prophet who,
so here's the thing. Let's move on to your claim. We have a claim here. We have a claim that you have dreams. Sometimes these dreams of our Jesus, sometimes it's of Allah, sometimes it's Muhammad. Your claim is that these dreams are connections with real entities, with gods and prophets. How do you know that it's not just in your mind? You said that it could be a communication with God. Yeah, but it could also be not. It could, if you want to just come up with guesses, what about the guess that, oh no, none of these religions are real, we are just reincarnation is a thing, and these are our dreams are of our past life. So if you want to just throw claims around, there's infinite number of claims that I could just make without any evidence or without any proof of what dreams could be, right? So how are we going to decide what metric and what methodology are going to use to figure out which one of these claims is more justifiable for us to believe in than the other ones? What is your methodology if you want to evaluate them?
My methodology, I say my methodology is that many times most dreams are incomprehensible, are basically very much, you know, I don't know what the word is for.
Not real?
Well, no, that's not the word. Many of the dreams that people have are very much, how do I say it? They are, in essence, very jumbled. They're not very clear.
Very clear. Okay. So not the lack of clarity of your dreams is evidence for it to be representing a communication with God?
No, I'm saying that would most likely correlate with dreams that are from your mind, from yourself. However, when it comes to religious dreams,
I had very, very, very clear dreams talking to Mehdi, Imam Mehdi. Very clear dreams. How do you explain that?
Okay, so I would say that you were speaking to, and if it was clear, then you were speaking to an entity or a person.
Why would the clarity of the dream mean that I was talking to an actual entity? Where are you getting this from? Why do you think that if a dream is clear, it must mean that I am talking to an actual entity outside of my mind in my dream?
Because most people's dreams are very much jumbled and make no sense. They are nonsensical.
So you're saying so you're saying we have dreams that are nonsensical, and then we have dreams that makes more sense, that are clear. You're saying the fact that most of our dreams are unclear means that the clear ones are communications with real entities?
Well, if an entity such as God wanted to speak to an individual, he would most likely have.
We're not talking about things that are possible. We're talking about things that are. You have to demonstrate that this is reality. You can't just say, well, this is how I imagine it would happen. Well, that doesn't make it more real. Why is it not possible that we just have dreams that reflect things that are in our mind, and some of them are clear and some of them are just not clear? Why is that not? Why do you think it's not possible for that just to be a product of our mind? Why is that not an option for you? Is that an option for you? Is it possible for our dreams to just be both the clear ones and the non-clear ones, to just be product of our minds while we're sleeping? Is that possible?
I would argue no.
Why not? Well, you didn't argue. You made a claim. An argument. When you say I would argue that no, well, that's the claim part of your argument. Now we need the actual argument.
Because if it's simply a product of your brain, of your mind, of chemicals and, synapses firing while you're dozing off in the night, there should be really no purpose for why any of the dreams are clear. They should all be basically rubbish. They should also
That's a repetition of the claim. That's the repetition of the claim. You said that if the dream is clear, it cannot just be our synapses firing. Okay, so I heard your claim. Now you're repeating the claim. You have to now explain to me, how do you know that? Why do you make you think? What does make you think that? Where's your evidence or argument for why, if a dream is clear, it has to be something more than a product of our mind?
Because the mind would, in essence, simply repeat what it saw or what the person did during the day. It wouldn't have any, clear. It wouldn't have any clear.
Yeah, I might suggest to you that that's not really the way it's understood by serious scientists. Now, if you could study a little bit of neuroscience, maybe develop a more sophisticated understanding of dreams. I mean, hell, if you even want to bring like Jung and Freud into all of this, you're still not going to see a lot of God there. Your notion about how dreams should be this or they should be that is fine based on your own experience, but it's not a particularly sophisticated, or I'm going to say accurate, understanding of what dreams actually are and how they work. Now, what is a dream? That's a complex question. You could spend a lifetime trying to understand what a dream actually is, because I think we can get a little bit beyond this notion that it's just chemicals and synapses firing. I mean, if it was just chemicals and synapses firing, that's what's happening right now. You know, I'm having a conversation with you, and the only way that I know that you are talking to me, and the only way that I can see this screen in front of me and participate in all of this, is because of the chemicals in my brain and the synapses firing. So we need to get to a more sophisticated understanding of neuroscience to really talk about what dreams actually are. And this distinction that you're making between intelligible dreams and unintelligible dreams really doesn't seem very clear. And it doesn't seem to be particularly well versed in the science that we're trying to discuss here. So, you know, I'm not saying that I can prove that God doesn't speak to people in dreams, but I have no reason to believe it. And after 10 minutes of this conversation, I'm no closer to it. Can you help me get there?
So when I say, I want to clarify something. When I say synapses and chemicals, I'm not trying to be, you know, as specific as I can be defining, you know, the neuroscience between dreams. I'm simply trying to explain, you know, like how I'm trying to basically say, you know, how like the mind, like I'm trying to generalize how the mind would probably, like, you know, work, you know, like I'm not trying to be very
no, and I get all that, but I'm suggesting that you're coming to this from a place of ignorance, and that's okay. I'm not a brilliant neuroscientist myself. I have some understanding of dreams and some understanding of the human brain and some of these different things, but I can't just define or explain dreams to you in the course of this phone call. But here you are making a really important claim about the existence of God, and you're basing it on a level of neuroscience understanding that I think could really use some boning up. So I guess what I'm just trying to suggest to you is that this claim that you've presented to Armin, that he's asked you to defend, feels really half-baked. And I think if you understood what dreams actually were and what our scientific understanding of them is, it might really help to dispel some of these theories that you've come to.
And also, have you talked to or studied the neuroscience at all? Because it seems like you have some level of confidence about what the clarity of dreams mean in a way that I think like many people who study the human brain would not be this confident talking about. I mean, if you actually go to talk to people who study the human brain, they wouldn't tell you that the mind cannot produce such vivid and clear dreams. They would tell you, yeah, it completely can. So I don't know where you're getting this from. Have you studied the science of dreams and the neuroscience that goes behind it?
I have not.
I would suggest that, as valuable as that is, you can disprove some of this by using your own self as a guinea pig. I mean, obviously, we have to be careful with that kind of data. But if you've ever had a dream that felt very vivid, but does not seem to be in line with the messages that God might be trying to send to you, I mean, I had a dream about having a threesome with two Avengers, and I don't really know what God was trying to tell me there. And I wonder if you haven't had similar experiences.
I had some really 18 plus dreams that
that did not come from Allah.
So when it comes to dreams from the standpoint of theism, or Christianity in this sense, dreams can come from your own self, you know, like you playing back your own like, you know, what you've consumed or what you've seen, heard, done, etc. So that would fall under, you know, like your brain basically brain your brain replaying what you did or what you saw in your dreams, maybe your imagination. There's God, and then there's, well, the devil. There's like three categories when it comes down to dreams. The two that would be most clear would be God and, well, the devil, I'd say.
I might suggest to you that this notion that all dreams are either weird thought noise or God or the devil has two unnecessary ingredients, and that dreams might just be weird thought noise, and that you're going to find that backed up by basically every scientific understanding of this issue. Prove to me that there is a God, and maybe we can have a different conversation, or come to me with a little bit more sophisticated understanding of how dreams operate, and we can continue this conversation. But I don't know that we're going to get much further now, unless there's something more you want to jump in with, Armin.
No, I think I want to move on. Is it okay if I ask you which Avengers? Don't answer.
You know, the whole chat was asking. I said that because I didn't want to like overly sexualize some poor actor or actress out there in Hollywood. So I'm just going to let the audience have their own dreams tonight and pick your two favorites.
Now we're all curious. You can't do this to us,
right?
Yeah. No, I was thinking when you said that, because I had some really 18 plus dreams, and I was like, okay, if the fact that they were clear means that they were real people or real entities, I'm like, oh my God. Well, I have some apologies to make. Yeah. I don't know what entity. Okay.
I love Christian apologetics sometimes, because anytime we don't understand something, it's God. But then it's like, oh, well, that thing that we don't understand is also bad. Then it must be the devil. And anything can be explained through those two get out of jail free cards.